Hello class, welcome back with me Miss Devi. So today we are going to learn about the topic. So without any further ado, let's start to the first topic about real life function. Well, this is the one of the application of function in real life. And let's look at this problem. The question is, three people exchange US dollar for euros in a bank. And it shows on the table. You can see the table, and X represent dollar and Y represent euro. And you can see the number. And the question is, so for the first question, you have to draw a graph showing this information. For dollar, you represent into the x-axis, and for euro, you can represent into y-axis. And the second question, you have to find the gradient of the graph. Now, let's find the solution of this question. So for the first question, you have to plot all the points based on the information on the table. So we got 3 points from the table. There are 200.150 and 80.50, and the last point we have 140.100. Now we will name all the points as A, B, and also C. Yeah, so this is for A point, this one for B, and this one for C. Now we have to do a plotting using all the order pairs on the Cartesian coordinate. So we'll plot over here for point A. And we will do a plotting for point B, 80.50 over here, 80.50. And then for the last point, for point C, with the coordinate 140.100. And now we have to connecting all the points to get a line. Remember, line is unlimited. Yeah, let's remember about the definition of a line. And then we got our linear graphs like this, the red line. And this is the graph. And for the second question, we have to find the gradient. Yeah, for the first question. And in the previous lesson, you learned about the gradient, right? So this is the formula of the gradient. Change in y out of change in x. And after that, you can choose 2 points on the line. And let's try to use point A and also B. And we have to put point A as x1 and y1, and point B as x2 and y2. And after that, we can do a substitution into the formula. So we got the gradient minus 100 out of minus 150, and we can simplify it into 5 out of 6. So the gradient of this graph is 5 out of 6, and this value 5 out of 6 is almost 0. So we can say that this line is less step. And we can say that the exchange rate of dollar and euros is still normal because the line is less step. Now, let's continue to the next topic about inverse of function. In the previous lesson, you learned about the function. And now, let's find the inverse of the function. Well, to give you an idea about the inverse, let's check the flowchart. So, this is the definition of the flowchart. So, flowchart is how to representing the step to solve the math question. So I have a question here. I have an example. So this is the question. We have to draw a flowchart to show the function 3x minus 5. So before we start to draw a flowchart to show this function, you have to remember about the order of operation. And also you have to know which one is the priority. Yeah. So for the first step, you have to choose a number as an input. So over here, let's use value x. Let's use x as an input. And after that, we have to multiply this input with 3. Yeah, with 3. And we'll get 3x. And after that, we have to subtract with minus 5. And after that, we will get a final result, which is 3x minus 5. And this final result, we call it as an output. Now, let's do an exercise. You have to do it by yourself. So you have to draw a flowchart to show the function 7 multiplied by x minus 5. Now, let's learn about the inverse of the function. Well, let's try to draw a flowchart to show the function 3x minus 5. So, firstly, we have to put an input. We have to choose an input. And after that, we have to multiply an input with 3 and we'll get 3x. And after that, we do a subtraction and we'll get the final result as an output, which is 3x minus 5. So basically, in the flowchart diagram or flowchart of a function, we work from the left to the right. Yeah. But now, in inverse, it's upside down. We have to work from the right and after that to the left. Yeah, that's make it different. So we have to work from the right to the left. So that means we have to find the value of x. Before, in the flow diagram of the function, we find the value of y. But right now, we have to find the value of x. That makes it different. So basically, in the flow chart of function, we have to work from the left to the right, right? Now, let's check the inverse of the function. For example, if I have a function 3x minus 5, or we can write it using another notation, it will be y is equal to x minus 5. So, to find the flowchart of a function, we have to find the value of y. And how to find the value of y? So yeah, you can check this flow diagram of the function. We did it before. And now let's try to find the flow diagram of inverse function. So to find the flow diagram of inverse function, we have to work from the right to the left. So that means we have to put an input as y. So this is the input as y. And then we have to add it with 5 because the inverse of the subtraction is addition. And it will be y plus 5. And then we have to divide it with 3 because the inverse of multiplication is division. And now we will get the value of x, which is the inverse of the function y plus 5 out of 3. So we find the inverse of the function. So this is the symbol f inverse x. The inverse will be x plus 5 out of 3. Now let's do an exercise. So I have a question here. We have to find the inverse of the function 4 multiplied by 3x plus 6. And also we have to find the inverse of the value 12. So let's start to the first question to find the inverse of the function. So I will show you the easiest way to solve this question. So we have a function y is equal 4 multiplied by 3x plus 6. So to find the inverse of function, that means we have to find the value of x, right? And then we just need to change the form into x is equal to. Yeah, so that's mean it's super easy. We just need to divide all the side with 4 first, because the inverse of multiplication is division. Yeah, so we divide all the side with 4, so it's equal y out of 4 is equal 3x plus 6. And now we have to subtract all the side with minus 6, because the inverse of addition is subtraction. So it's equal y out of 4 minus 6 is equal 3x. And then we have to find the value of x, right? So that means we have to divide all the side with 3. So we have y out of 4 minus 6 divided by 3 is equal with x. Now we find the value of x. Now we just need to simplify this value. X is equal to y out of 4 minus 6 times 1 out of 3. So the final result will be y out of 12 minus 2. So this is the inverse of the function. Now we have to find the value of the inverse of 12. Yeah, so this is the inverse of the function. Yeah, I put it on the box. And now we will find the value of the inverse of 12. Yeah, it's super easy. You just need to do a substitution using this value into, of course, into the inverse function. So f inverse 12 is equal, you change the value of x into 12. So the answer will be 1 minus 2 is equal minus 1. It's super easy. Now, this is for your exercise at home. You can try to do it by yourself. So that's all for our lesson today. I hope you enjoy. And thank you for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye!